Hi dear students, I am your Srinivas from Sri Sai Sadbhavana School. We are learning about the weather and climate, that is fourth lesson, weather and climate. Up to here, the page number 24, I have explained, and in the page number 25 also I have explained few lines. In this chapter, we have learnt about what is the weather. Weather is the condition or the state of atmosphere over a short period. What is the climate? The weather condition for a long period. That is called as climate. And what are the elements that affects the weather and climate? Factors influencing climate we are studying. We are studying now factors influencing the climate. In that latitude we have completed. Now we will move to the altitude. We will move to the altitude. What is the meaning of altitude? We will study here. Now I will read the lesson. Altitude is the height of a place above the sea level. As all the seas of the world are linked to each other, their level is the same all over the earth. Their level is the same all over the earth. Sea level is hence taken as the parameter for measuring the altitude of a place. The climate of a place is also affected by its altitude. The air closer to the earth's surface is dense and absorbs more heat. This makes places at lower altitudes hot. The atmosphere is thinner at high altitudes. It absorbs less heat, making the places in hilly areas cold. That is why most of the mountain peaks are covered with ice in winter and hill stations are cold even in summer. For example, Shimla, which is at a high altitude, is always cooler than Delhi, which is at a low altitude. Here, now we understand what is the meaning of altitude. Altitude means height. Altitude means height. So, height of a place. How we will calculate the height of a place? How we will calculate the height of a place which is taken as the baseline or which is taken as the base? Because to measure any height, we will take the base. For example, height of a person, you will take as the ground level as the base or 0 point. From there, you are measuring the height. Height of a house, from the basement, you are taking base as the zero level or the base level. Here, we are taking the sea as the base level. Sea level has the base level, how they have given here. Altitude is the height of a place above the sea level. Altitude is the height of a place. Altitude of Bangalore, altitude of Calcutta, altitude of Delhi, altitude of Himalayan mountains. Everything is there. Everything they have measured. It is taken, the base level has the sea level. Altitude is the height of a place above the sea level. As all the seas of the world are linked to each other, because all the seas and the oceans are linked to each other. There is no any place which cuts the sea or separates the sea water. Separates the sea water. Sea water separates the continents, but no continent separates the sea waters. No continent is separating the sea water. So they are all linked. They are all linked together. So all the level of the water is same all over the earth. That means they have the same height or same level on the earth. Sea level is hence taken as the parameter for measuring the altitude of a place. See here, they have taken sea level. This has the base. Sea level has the base to calculate the height. For example, Bangalore at the height of 20 meters from the sea level. They will announce if it is 20 meters, they will say this place is 20 meters high from the sea level, 400 meters high from the sea level. How we will calculate the Mount Everest? It is from the sea level only we are calculating. The climate of a place. So you know what is about the altitude and height. How we will calculate the height? We will take on the sea level has the baseline or sea level has the base parameter for measuring the altitude. For measuring the altitude, that means height of a place. The climate of a place is also affected by its altitude. It means the climate depends upon the in which height it is located, the place is located. The place is located or the place is present. The air closer to the Earth's surface is dense and absorb more heat. For example, if this is the Earth, the air which is present near to the Earth's surface, receive here the more air is present. Here the more air is present which absorb the sunlight. In the air, carbon dioxide is there. Which gas? Carbon dioxide. What its characteristic is, it absorbs the sunlight and become once again heat up the environment. So when closer to the land area, that means to the land area, the heat is more. This makes places at lower altitudes hot. That means this is the lower altitudes. If you go upper, that means Mount Everest, not Mount Everest, to the some hilly stations, which are higher places, the air which is present is very less. It absorbs less sun heat, so we feel the cold. They have given here. See, the climate of a place is also affected by its altitude. The air closer to the Earth's surface is dense. Dense means more. What is the meaning of dense? Dense means thick or more. Here it is very dense. Dense means very thick or more. This makes places at low and absorbs more heat. This air absorbs the more heat, so it becomes very hot. So we feel very hot in the land level. When the atmosphere is thinner at higher altitudes, when you go to the higher altitudes, the air present in the higher altitudes is very less. When you go outside to the environment, the air is very, very less. The quantity of air is very, very less, as it absorbs less sunlight, so it is very, very cool. It absorbs less heat, making the places in hilly areas cold. That is why most of the mountain peaks are covered with ice in winter and hill stations are cold even in summer. Because of that reason, because the Himalayan mountains are very high. There is very, very less amount of air. For that reason, every time there is a cold season. There is a very much of cold. In summer, for example, Shimla, which is at a high altitude, is always cooler than Delhi, which is at a low altitude. The Shimla is a place. It is a hill station place in the northern India. It is very, very cool because it is in the high place. But Delhi is at the low level, so it is very, very hot. Next, come to the distance from the sea. So this altitude also affects the climate. Next comes to the distance from the sea. The distance from the sea determines the climate of a place. Places near the sea have moderate climate, but places far away from the sea are very cold in winter and very hot in summer. This is because land gets heated faster and loses heat faster than water. During summer, land gets heated quickly and the air above the land surface becomes hot. This hot air rises up. The cool air above the sea blows towards the land to occupy the space created. This cool air brings down the temperature of the places closer to the sea and does not make them hot. The places which are far away from the sea do not get this cool air and remain hot in summer. During winter, land becomes cooler than the water in the sea. The warm air above the sea rises up and moves towards the land. This raises the temperature of the places along the coast by the time this air reaches the places away from the sea. It loses its warmth, hence these places remain cold in winter. For example, Hyderabad, which is far away from the sea, is hotter in summer and cooler in winter than Vishakhapatnam, which is on the coast. Which is on the coast. Here, the climate also affected the distance from the sea. The places which are distant from the sea. The sea also affects this climate. How we will study? The distance from the sea determines the climate of a place. Distance from the sea determines the climate of a place. Places near the sea have moderate climate. That means always changing, moderate climate. But places away from the sea are very cold in winter and very hot in summer. Moderate means we can, okay, it is very good like that. But the places far away from the sea are very cold in winter and very hot in summer. Very cold in winter and very hot in summer. This is because why? Land gets heated faster and loses heat faster than water. The land heats up faster and loses and cools faster. Just to understand, the land heats up faster. Heating is also fast and cooling is also fast. So, during summer, land gets heated quickly and the air above the land surface becomes hot. When this area is heated up by the sun rays only, the land is heated up. The air near that land also heated and it become lighter, so it flows up. So the hot air rises up. The cool air above the sea blows towards the land to occupy the space created. See here, this is the land and this is the sea. For example, this is the sea. I am talking about the place which is near to the seashore. Here, due to the sun, this land is heated up. Here, what the air is present, it is also heated and rises. The cool air which is present in the sea, here when this air goes up, here some place is created. That we call it as empty place. Evacuation we call it as some empty place is created. So this air, the cool air which is heavier than this hot air wants to occupy this place. So this rushes here. That means cool air blows from the seashore from the sea to the seashore. So that reason this cool air, when this cool air passes here, we feel the cool. So this is the moderate climate. This cool air brings down the temperature of the place closer to the sea and does not make them hot. That means this cool air cools this land also. So we can't feel so much of hot. The places which are far away from the sea do not get this cool air and remain hot in summer. For that, we are away from the sea. We don't get the cool air. For that reason, in the summer, we feel so much of hot. But the people who are near to the sea, they feel moderate temperature during the summer. How I have explained, due to the heat, the land heat, this air is also heated up, so it becomes light and it moves upward. The air from the sea, that is cold air, it will occupy the place of the hot air, so it cools the earth also. So this area becomes cool. During winter, this is about the summer. During winter, land becomes cooler than the water in the sea. This land becomes colder than the water in the sea. That means land cools very fast. Than the water. The warm air above the sea rises up and moves towards land. The warm air which is present on the sea. On the sea it is warm, here it is cool. So it rises and occupies the place of the air. Above the sea rises up and moves towards the land. This raises the temperature of the places along the coast. That means here this is more temperature, here it is less temperature. This rises and moves towards this side. Because this is very cold, This place is also very cold, but this place is very hot. This becomes lighter, so this air moves upward and moves towards the land. Moves towards the land, and this warm air heats up this area also. So they get warm in the winter. They get warm in the winter. By the time this air reaches the places away from the sea, it loses its warmth. Hence, these places remain cold in winter. But we are staying away from the seashore. So here in winter, we feel very cool because we don't get the warm air. We don't get the warm air from the sea. For example, Hyderabad, which is far away from the sea, is hotter in summer and cooler in winter than Vishakhapatnam, which is on the coast. Vishakhapatnam is the coast area. Port in Vishakhapatnam, port is there. What is the meaning of port? Port is the place where the ships are coming for loading and unloading purpose. Loading and unloading the goods. So Vishakhapatnam is, in summer it is cooler and in winter it is hot in Vishakhapatnam. Okay, but in Hyderabad, in summer it is very, very hot. In winter it is very, very cold. Next come to direction of winds. Directions of winds. Horizontal moving air is called wind. That means horizontal moving air. I will read. Hot winds increase the temperature of a place while cold winds decreases it. Winds also bring rain to the places where they blow. The wind that blows from the sea to the land is known as onshore wind or sea breeze. It carries moisture and makes the climate in the coastal areas humid. It also brings rain to these areas. The wind that blows from the land to the sea is called offshore wind or land breeze. It is dry and does not carry moisture. India is affected by seasonal winds known as monsoons. The southwest monsoon winds bring rain from June to September, and northeast monsoon winds bring rain during December and January. Here the direction of the winds they have given. Horizontal moving air is called wind. That means horizontal to the land level. So this is the land. Horizontally the moving air. This side or this side we call it as wind. Horizontally moving air is called as wind. Hot winds increase the temperature of a place while cold winds decreases it. That means if the wind is hot, the place becomes hot naturally. If the wind is cold, the area becomes cool. Winds also bring rain to the places where they blow. They also bring the rain to the places where they blow. The wind that blows from sea to the land is known as onshore wind or sea breeze. That means from the sea to the land, the air blows. This is called sea breeze. Sea breeze, or another name is there, onshore wind. Onshore wind. We call this as onshore wind or sea breeze. From the sea, we are getting the wind. From the sea, we are getting the wind towards the land. It carries moisture and makes the climate in the coastal areas humid. That means makes the climate cold. It makes the climate cold because it carries the moisture. The water is evaporating here due to the sun heat. Due to the sun heat, the water is evaporating from the sea. That evaporation that evaporates in the form of droplets. That droplets passes through the wind. While moving, that carries that droplets also towards the land. So that air is very, very cold. So that area becomes cool. It carries moisture and makes the climate in the coastal areas humid. It also brings rain to these areas. It also brings rain to the coastal areas. The wind that blows from land to the sea is called offshore wind. From land to the sea, some air will blow. That is called as land breeze. That is called as land breeze or offshore wind. Or offshore wind, we call it as offshore wind. It is dry because on the land there is no water for evaporation purpose. So it is dry and does not carry any moisture. It does not carry any moisture. India is affected by seasonal winds known as monsoons. Means say in the month of June or in the month of May, we affect from the monsoon. Now till it is continuing. So that is winds called as the monsoon winds, seasonal. They are coming in the perfectly in the month of June. Perfectly in the month of May to June. The southwest monsoon winds bring rain from June to September, and the northeast monsoon winds bring rain during December and January. Now what we are getting is the southwest monsoons. Southwest monsoons bring rain from June to September. Up to the September month, we are affecting the southwest monsoon, and in the northeast monsoon, winds bring rain during December and January. Next, climatic zones of the world. They are given the climatic zones of the world. The temperature and the amount of rainfall determine the climate of a place. The whole world is divided into climatic regions or heat zones according to the type of climate they have. The three main climatic zones are torrid, temperature, and frigid zones. Frigid zones. What is the meaning of three climatic zones? The temperature and the amount of rainfall, according to the considering the temperature of the place and the amount of rainfall that place receives. That place receives determine the climate of a place. Determine the climate of place, whether it is a dry area or it is a rainfall area or it is a cold area or it is a hot area. This is decided by this temperature as well as the amount of rainfall. The whole world is divided into climatic regions or hot zones according to the type of climate they have. That means they have divided into three zones. The three main climatic zones are torrid, T-O-R-R-I-D. T-O-R-R-I-D. This is one zone. Next one is the temperate. Next one is the frigid. So these are the three zones in which the continents are divided. The continents are divided. So if which continents comes in this zone, just we will go one by one. They have given the brief information about the torrid zone, temperate zone and the frigid zone. Torrid zone. The region between the two tropics, the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn, is known as torrid zone. See here they have given torrid zone in the figure that Africa falls, this torrid zone. This is called as the torrid zone. According to the equator, considering equator as the baseline, they have divided these three regions. One by one we will read. This region receives direct sun rays, making it hot almost throughout the year. The rainfall in some places here is very heavy. Thus, they have a hot and wet climate. This region is also called the tropical zone. I will explain now. Torrid zone. Considering the equator, please look at the page number 26. Considering the equator, the distance, they have taken the places between the Tropic of Cancer, it is also an imaginary line, and the Tropic of Capricorn, this is also an imaginary line. So they consider this area as the torrid zone. They consider this as the torrid zone. Why? This region receives direct sun rays. Near the equator, they receives the more sun rays. So this area receives the heavy sun rays because it is tilting. So equator comes here. So it receives very heavy sun rays. So this area which receives the heavy sun heat is called as torrid zone. Here the sun rays making it hot almost throughout the year. Throughout the year, here it is like a summer-like season. Throughout the year, in this area it is summer. The rainfall in some places here is very heavy. In that condition also, here in some places the heavy rainfall is occur. Thus, they have a hot and wet climate. Here, some places hot climate, and where the heavy rainfall is there it has a wet climate. This region is also called as tropical zone. We call it by another name, tropical zone. This is the another name for torrid zone. We call it as the tropical zone. Next come to temperate zone. The regions between the Tropic of Cancer and the Arctic Circle and between the Tropic of Capricorn and the Antarctic Circle form the temperate zone. These regions receive slanting rays of the sun and hence the climate is neither too hot nor too cold. They have cold winters and mild summers. Here temperate zones. See, they have given temperate zones. After the torrid zones, it is the temperate zone. These regions are between the Tropic of Cancer and the Arctic Circle and between the Tropic of Capricorn and the Arctic Circle from the temperate zone. Form the temperate zone. That means after this, here this forms up to here the temperate zones. Here this one and this one are called as temperate zones. These two are called as the temperate zones. In this area, these regions receive slanting rays of the sun. Here the less, they receive very less, not very less, they receive less sun heat. They receive less sun rays. So here it is cold. The climate is neither too hot or not too cold. Neither too hot nor too cold. That means moderate. It is not a fully cold region or not a fully hot region. It is a moderate type climate. They have cold winters and mild summers. That means in the winter it is cold and in the winter it is mild summer. That means not much of heat. Not much of more heat like what we getting. Next, frigid zone. The regions around the poles are known as frigid zone. These areas below this at the poles, these are called as frigid zones. They lie between the Arctic Circle and the North Pole and between the Antarctic Circle and the South Pole. They are very far away from the equator and receive absolutely slanting rays of the sun. During most months in a year, the frigid zones do not receive the sun rays at all. That is why they are covered with thick sheets of ice most of the year. The climate here is extremely cold throughout the year. Here, this area is called as the frigid. What is the meaning of frigid? Frigid means ice. Fridge. Frigid means where we get the cold. So much of cold because they are very far away from the equator. So here we are getting the sun rays. If the sun is like this, we are getting the very less sun rays throughout the year. They are very far away from the equator and receive absolutely slanting rays of the sun. During most of the months in a year, the frigid zones do not receive the sun rays at all. Here in the most of the year, they are covered with ice. There is no sun rays. There is no sun rays most of the year. That is why they are covered with thick sheets of ice. Everywhere, wherever you see, everywhere you see the ice only. And that is most of the year, throughout the year. Not in the summer or not in the winter or not in the rainy season. Throughout the year, there is a cold. The climate here is extremely cold throughout the year. Here, it is very, very cold. Climatic regions of the world. Climate of all parts of the world is not the same. That means, I will read. Climate of all parts of the world is not the same. It varies from place to place depending on many factors as mentioned earlier in the lesson. Some regions may be hot and wet, while others may be hot and dry. Certain regions of the world may be covered with snow and ice throughout the year, while some may have extremes of summers and winters. The world has been divided into various climatic regions on the basis of the climatic conditions experienced in them. That means, what is the climatic region of the world? We have studied everything, how the climatic in the higher places and in the lower places near the seashore, everything we have studied. And near the equator, how it is, torrid, temperate, everything we have studied. That means what this says. The climate throughout the world is not same. Throughout the world is not same. It varies from place to place depending on many factors. Depending on many factors as mentioned earlier in the lesson. That means height of the place, whether it is near to the seashore or it is in the equator or in the Tropic of Capricorn or near the poles, like that. These all the factors affect the climate of that place. Some regions may be hot and wet. Some regions are very hot and wet, like torrid region. And some places are dry, maybe hot and dry. Some places are hot and wet, but some places are hot and dry. See here, what is the difference? Hot and wet means here so much of sun rays also present, but according to that also equally rain is also present. But in some places only sun rays, there is no rainfall. Certain regions of the world may be covered with snow and ice throughout the year. For example, this last present areas, while some may have extreme of summers and winters. That means extremes of summers, so much of summer, so much of hot in summer and so much of cold in winter. The world has been divided into various climatic regions on the basis of the climatic conditions experienced in them. That means here the world is divided into so much. That means what it concludes, that we don't get the same climatic conditions throughout the world. It varies from place to place throughout the world. It varies from place to place throughout the world. So this completes your chapter, the weather and climate. I hope you understand very well. So thank you very much. This completes your lesson. I will close the lesson now. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.